Hi, this is about hearing God, part 3. Our relationship with God is all about hearing Him. It's actually what life as a believer in Jesus and a follower of Jesus is all about. It's actually all about hearing Him and obeying. It's really what we're called to do and live. We recognize His voice by studying the scriptures, but we cannot possibly, with our own devices and faculties, analyze and work out how to live by careful study of the scriptures. We need, as it is written, we need His laws and His ways written upon our hearts, which really means we need to be part of Him. That's why Jesus said, "You will abide in me." When you know the truth and the Holy Spirit comes, it'll actually be abiding in Him. So we don't look to ourselves to live. We look to Him and His Spirit speaking to our spirit every moment of the day, very quietly. It's a miracle every moment, but it's not dramatic. It's living with the Father through the Spirit because of Jesus, His Son. I said hear and obey because, the word for truth in Old English comes from troth, meaning faithfulness or a commitment, a covenant. Because truth must be pledged to. It's a relationship with what is true, that you don't judge or analyze or pick apart or decide what you're going to do about it. It's only to be embraced. It is only to be received and obeyed. That's what truth is. So it reminds me of the story that is said in Parker Palmer's seminal book, The Courage to Teach, and his previous book to that, A Spirituality of Education, whereby when in Christendom the desert monks started going to, people started going to the desert because they saw Christianity being institutionalized in a way that was just different than before. And they had relationship with God, they wanted to hear in the quietness. And others would come out and say, teach us, Abba Felix, give us a word from God. And his response was, after long silence, God doesn't give words to those who don't obey them. You really have to be already totally purposed without a shadow of doubt that you want to obey what He says. You won't actually have ears to hear if you're dissecting it or analyzing it. You actually can't hear that way. You must hear by having the heart of being open and wanting to obey. And that key disposition is called trust. It's actually deciding already, I'm going to trust God. Because that is the real test of what we're here for. That is the real test that was failed in the garden. Didn't trust. Trust was eroded by the tempter. We too must be on guard. Don't let your trust be eroded. For when you trust, you are then saying, yes, I obey. And it is because you trust and believe in the absolute goodness and sufficiency of God. But that is your anchor. Your ears will be open to hear. So receive the knowledge, the truth.